The example here is two coins are tossed simultaneously. Find the probability of getting two heads, one head, no head, at most one head, and at least one head. These are the 5 sets of questions. Now, two coins tossed simultaneously, right? You on one hand you have one coin, on the other hand you have another coin, and you toss them together. Okay, so what are the these probabilities? First of all, what are the possible outcomes? Sample space. It is a set of all possible outcomes. If I denote the head by H and tail by T, you can get head in the first coin, head in the second coin, head in the first coin, tail in the second coin, tail in the first coin, head in the second coin, and you can get tail in both the coins, right? This is what your all possible outcomes are. You will not get any other possible outcome apart from these. Now what you see is you need to find the probability of two heads. So according to the question, the given question is two heads. So we'll define your event accordingly, right? So what I'll do is, this is the actual way of writing. Okay, now you can make many other shortcuts of writing. I'm not talking about it, but this is the actual way of writing. Okay, let us say let A be the event, under quotes you have two heads, right? So I call the event A as two heads. Why? Because my question was two heads. That's why. So therefore, what is A here? Two heads. If you see in the sample space, only this is the event. So HH. So A contains only one element, HH, right? So therefore, now you see before this, after writing the sample space, you can write number of possible outcomes must be equal to, or total number of possible outcomes must be equal to 4, because there are 4 possible outcomes. And for the first part of the question, we define A as two heads. So we write the set A as HH. Okay, only one element in the set. Now, number of events, because A has only one element, number of events favorable to, let's say, number of outcomes favorable to the event. Number of outcomes favorable to the event A, or you can write this as two heads. How many elements in A? Only one. So therefore, we write probability of the event A, we write PA, or we can also write it in this manner, P two heads is equal to, what is the formula? Number of outcomes favorable, numerator you have number of outcomes favorable to the event A. How many outcomes favorable to the event A? One. You have one. And how many total number of possible outcomes? It is 4. So 1 by 4 is the probability. Second question here is getting at one head. So let us define again another event. Let B be the event, one head. So what is the set B? Look at the sample space. One head means which way events have one head. This one has one head. This one has one head, right? So we have HT and PH. The number of events, number of outcomes favorable to the event B, or one head, is equal to, what is the numerator? Number of outcomes favorable to the event B. How many outcomes favorable to the event B? 2, because I have two elements here. Hence, PB, I will write P one head is equal to 2 by total number of possible outcomes is 4, so which is half. If you see the next question here is No head. So let C be the event. No head. Therefore, what is C? Look at the sample space once again. No head. This contains head. This contains head. This contains head. The only event that does not contain head is this one, right? TT. So that means C is only TT. So number of outcomes favorable to the event C is equal to, how many events are there? Only one. Hence, PC or P no head is equal to 1 by 4. Okay. Similarly, for the next one, you can call this event D. Now, what is the event D here? D here is at most one head, right? D here is at most one head. At most one head means look at the sample space. At most one head. What do you mean by at most one head? Either no head or one head at the most, right? So at no head means this is the event. At most one head means these two are also the events. HT, TH and TT. So HT you have, TH and TT, right? So therefore what should be PD or P at most one head is equal to 3 divided by total number of possible outcomes, which is 4. And number 5. This event here is at least one head. If you see the next question, number 5th part of the question is at least one head. So let us call this event as E. At least one head. Now see the sample space. At least one head means one head or two heads. So one head is here, one head is here, and one head is here. That means these three events, HH, HT, and TH. HH, HT, and TH. So how many events are there in E? There are 3. So how many events favorable to E? 3. Hence, PE or P at least one head is equal to 3 by 4. That's it. Okay. Now, once we have we are comfortable with this, if you have no question here, then we can see the structure of cards. I sent you an image yesterday. This was the image that I sent you yesterday.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now, see this in this image, the set of cards are given to you, right? Now, what is the 52 cards are there in total? Out of these 52 cards, if you see, there are red cards and there are black cards.
Blackbird.
Red cards and black cards. How many red? If you see red here from all this, right from A till this part, you have 13 cards, right? So you have red as, and also you have this one, all these are red. That means there are 26 red cards. And there similarly, there are 26 black cards, right? Now see, the red cards have been classified into, the red cards have been classified into two. What are they? These cards are called hearts. Okay, we see hearts everywhere. These cards are called hearts. So there are 13 hearts, right? And this is a diamond. Okay, so there are 13 diamonds. So therefore, red has been classified into 2, which is hearts, which is 13 in number, and you have diamonds, which is also 13 in number. Okay. Next, we come to the black cards. Now, if you see, black cards are there, the first two rows. Okay. These are all black cards, and these are all black cards. Now, what are these black cards? If you see, the black cards are the symbols. For the first symbol here, all these symbols here, this is a club. Okay. This is again 13 cards. And finally, you have the spades. This symbol here that you see, this symbol is for spade. So you have 13 spades, right? Now, next is, now if you see among these are all called suits, okay? Hearts, diamonds, clubs, and spades. These are all called suits, okay? Now, if you see in each of these suits, what do you have? In each of these suits, you have a king, queen, and a jack. You have K, Q, J, and you have an A here, right? In each of these suits you have, right? So these are the king, queen, jack, and ace. These in each suit, how many kings in one suit? In the all the four suits, there are four kings, right? How many queens? Four queens. How many total number of jacks? Four jacks. How many aces? Four aces. These, there are total 16 cards, right? These are called honor cards. Okay. Also, these three cards, the king, queen, and jack, there are 12 cards total in total. These are called face cards, except the ace. Okay. These are called the face cards. Also, if you see these symbols here, K, Q, J, A, and then beginning with 10, this continues till 2. All these you see on top of each suit, all these are written, right? Here also you have, here also you have. These are called denominations, right? These are called denominations. So if I say um, the of denomination of the king of hearts, right? So which card will you say? If I say king of hearts, then which one should you choose? You will choose this card here. This is the king of hearts. If I say the six of spades, which card will you choose? You are going to choose this card, six of spades, right? And so on. So that is what you need to know about cards. So let us move on to a question on cards. Question is, a card is drawn from a well-shuffled pack of 52 cards. Find the probability of getting, and you have a set of questions. Okay. Now, first of all, you must understand that since the total number of cards is 52, what can be a total number of possible outcomes? It has to be 52 only. Total number of possible outcomes has to be 52, right? Because you are drawing out one card, single card you are drawing out, and there are 52 cards, so you can draw out in 52 ways, right? So 52 is the total number of possible outcomes. Next, number one. The question here is two of spades. Let me write directly, probability of two of spades. Look at this here now. Two of spades. Spade, which one is there? This one is the spade, right? This one. Two of spades. How many two of spades? Only one. Two of spades, right? So how many number of events? What should be the probability? Only one two of spade divided by 52. Total number of possible outcomes, right? Next question. A card of diamond. How many diamonds? 13 diamonds, right? 13 divided by total number of possible outcomes, 52. So this is 13 by 52, which is 1/4, I think. Next question. A card of black color. Card of black color. How many black colored cards? 26 black colored cards. Divided by 52. So this is half. Next is a red king. How many red kings? There are 4 kings in total. 2 are red and 2 are black. So there are 2 red kings. 2 divided by total number of cards is 52. So this is 1 by 26. Next, a king or queen. How many kings in total? 4 kings. How many queens in total? 4 queens. So a king or queen is 4 plus 4, which is divided by 52, which is 8 by 52, which is 4, 2, and 2 by 13. 6. P. Next question is a non-face card. Now, how many face cards are there? How many face cards? 4 plus 4 plus 4, right? 4 kings, 4 queens, and 4 jacks. These are three face cards, right? In total, so there are 12 face cards. So how many non-face cards? 52 minus 12 divided by 52, which is equal to 40 by 52, which is equal to 10 by 30. Next question. A red face card. A red face card. How many face cards? In each of the suits, how many face cards are there? Red face cards is how many? 2. 2 kings are there, right? 2 red kings. So you have 2 red kings. Then you have 2 red queens. Then you have 2 red jacks, right? These are the total number of face cards divided by total number of cards, which is 6 by 52, which is 3 by 26. Next question is a non-face card of black color. A non-face card of black color. Non-face card of black color. How many black colored cards? 26 black colored cards, right? Minus, and it has to be non-face also. How many face cards of black color? You have 2 kings of black color, you have 2 queens of black color, and you have 2 jacks of black color divided by 52. That's it. So this is 26 minus 6 divided by 52. 20 by 52, which is 5 by 13. The detailed way of writing I have already shown you on the left hand side in the notes. Okay, go through that. That is the actual way of writing. Next is neither a spade nor a jack. Neither a spade nor a jack. That means how many spades? There are 13 spades. So neither a spade, that means from 52 cards, you remove the spades. 13 spades you removed. Nor a jack. How many jacks? There are 4 jacks. But out of these 13, this includes one spade, one jack, isn't it? This 13 includes one jack. So how many other three? There are 3 jacks remaining. So 13 plus 3 divided by 52. Is this part clear?
Yes, sir.
52 minus 16 divided by 52. So this is
So 36 and 52.
36 by 52, which is 9 by 13. And next question is last question. Neither a heart nor a red king. Neither a heart nor a red king is equal to, now from out of the 52 cards you remove 13 hearts because neither a heart, right? What else do you remove? You remove the king, red king, nor a red king. That means you have to remove the red king, but heart contains a king, isn't it? So that means you have to remove 3 other red kings. So that means this is also the same, 36 by 52, 9 by 13, right? Any question? If no question, then we'll move on to the other important definitions. Okay. Um, the first definition is that of a sure event. Very important definition. Sure and impossible event, sure impossible event, and complementary event. These 3 are very important definitions. Okay. An event which is bound to occur, which will definitely occur. Okay. Example. Suppose if I'm tossing a coin, sample space is HT, right? Sample space is HT. Now on this sample space, if I define the event, let A be the event, appearance of a head or a tail, right? If I define the event appearance of a head or tail, then what is left? That means you either get a head or a tail, definitely. So therefore, PA has to be a sure event. Will you get any other outcome? No. So therefore, A here must be equal to S, isn't it? A here is equal to S. Therefore, PA is equal to 1. We say PA is equal to PS is equal to 1. So whenever you know that an event is a sure event, that means its probability has to be 1. Suppose if I tell you, if someone asks me that whether he or she will pass in the exam or not, I say yes, he or she can pass in the exam or can fail in the exam also. So what is so new that I said? So this is a sure event. So if someone appears for an exam, either he will pass the exam or he will fail the exam. There is no other third alternative, right? So that is a sure event because my event was either pass or fail. Next, impossible event. An event which cannot occur, right? It cannot occur ever. For example, in the casting of a dice, unbiased dice. This is the sample space. If I define the event A as say appearance of 7, can this occur? This event cannot occur. Therefore, A is a null set.
No, sir.
A is a null set.
0.
That means we say probability of the event A is
0.
0. Okay. This is what an impossible event is. A we call as a impossible event. Okay. Here S is called a sure event, or A is called a sure event. Okay. Next definition is complementary event. Very important definition. Complementary events. Now, what do you mean by complementary events? Suppose an event is A is given to you. Suppose an event A is given. Then the event not A is called a complementary event of A. Right? It is denoted by A bar. It is denoted by, remember you did complementary sets in your um, sets. That is the kind of definition. It is denoted by A bar. We denote it by A superscripted with C, or we also denote it by A dashed. Normally we use this notation, A bar. Let us come to an example. Let us say that let us see this with the help of an example. See here. Okay, before going to the example, remember that the probability of not A, the complementary event of A, is equal to 1 minus probability of the event A. Okay. Probability of the complementary event of A is equal to not A. We also write this as P A bar is equal to 1 minus PA. Okay. Now coming to this problem here. A bag contains 5 black, 7 red, and 3 white balls. Find the probability that a ball drawn is a red ball. So first of all, one ball is drawn. How many total number of balls? Total number of balls is equal to 15. Total number of possible outcomes, because you are drawing one ball, total number of possible outcomes will be 15. So your denominator will be 15 definitely, right? Now we'll see what are the events. The question is ball drawn is red. So P red. Probability of getting a red ball. How many red balls? 7 red balls. So
7 red
7.
balls.
And total number of balls is 15. So probability of red ball is 7 by 15. Next, probability of black or white ball. Black or white. Black or white. How will you how many black balls? There are 5 black balls. And how many white balls? There are 3 white balls. Total number of balls is 15. So this is 8 by 15. Now this one you can also do it with the help of complementary events. Now see here, if I want to calculate probability of a black ball or a white ball. That means this is probability of not red ball, right? Because there are only three kinds of balls, isn't it? Whether if I say black or white, that means I'm not talking about red. That means P not red. And you know, probability of P not red is 1 minus probability of getting a red ball. And we have already calculated the probability of a red ball. What is the probability of getting a red ball? 7 by 15. Which now take the LCM, you get 8 by 15. Is this okay? Is this okay, or should I explain this once again, or any problem here? This is very important. If you have not understood, please understand very well. Third one, not black. To find not black, we first find out the probability of black. How many black balls here? There are 5 black balls. How many total number of balls? 15. So this is 1/3. Therefore, probability of a not black complementary event is equal to 1 minus probability of a black ball, which is equal to 1 minus 1/3, which is equal to 2/3. That's it. Any question from any part here? Otherwise, I'll stop here.